Long, long ago, a rishi was on his way to austerity. His elder wife Katyayani had no objection, but his younger wife Maitreyi wasn't convinced enough on his renunciation of family life. So she argued with her husband. My lord, what are you in search of? And how will you get it by leaving us? The rishi replied, I am in search of salvation, the ultimate nectar. Material wealth cannot give salvation. Maitreyi further argued, but that which cannot make me your desired nectar, what will you do with that? Now the rishi, though was resorting to sannyasa, but wasn't loveless towards his wife. In fact, when his wife argued with him on the elements of love, soul, and salvation, it drew him further towards his wife. So he said, my dear, you have been my beloved, and now you just ignited my love further. Hello and welcome to Indian Mythology in Modernity, and today we will be reading about the greatest women philosophers of ancient times, especially Gargi. The story that I just told you is a conversation between Rishi Yajnavalkya and his wife Brahmavadini Maitreyi, and together they are trying to reach a conclusion on what is salvation, what is love, and how is it related to the soul. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Rishi Yajnavalkya tells Maitreyi that self-love is the greatest form of love that exists. Let's read. Self-love is the only form of love that exists. The amount of self that a person finds in the worldly objects around him, he loves them that much. Husband, wife, children, relatives, friends, heaven, God, and everything else are loved by us in this form only. When we read the Brihadaranyaka Upanishads, we cannot forget the wonderful story of woman philosopher Gargi. She will always be remembered as one of the greatest women philosophers of ancient India, the others being Maitreyi, Vadanapratitheyi, Khana, Ubhaya Bharati, and Akka Mahadevi. Gargi was known as a renowned woman scholar of ancient times. She was born around 700 BC. In Vedic literature, she has been praised as a knowledgeable natural philosopher and a propounder of the Vedas. She had received the most coveted titles in Vedic literature of Brahmavadini, that is, a person with the highest knowledge of Brahman. Gargi made a name for herself at a time when a woman's role was secondary to man's. A woman could not do anything by herself, not even within the households. In fact, it was believed that to be born as a woman in reincarnation was the greatest disadvantage or punishment for a person. Philosophical wisdom was the privilege of men, and it was passed down from a man to a man, and that's how it went on for generations. Yes, renunciation for attainment of salvation was open to both men and women, but definitely nuns were inferior to monks. Gargi not only participated in philosophical debates on equal platforms with men, but also defeated them. Gargi belonged to the lineage of sage Garg, and since childhood, she was deeply interested in Vedic scriptures. Among women, she was the one who had awakened her Kundalini powers, or spiritual awareness, the highest achievement for any yogic practitioner. Once, on a debate with Madana Mishra, Gargi was declared the winner, and she was acknowledged as a realized soul. The seeds of feminism had been sowed in ancient Vedic times. Now, how Gargi became a part of the Ramayana indirectly is hidden in the 8th Brahmana of the 3rd chapter in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Now once, King Janak of Videha conducted a Rajaswa Yajna, which lasted for several days. He invited several great rishis and sages from the neighboring states and the neighboring countries. They all arrived in his yajna. At the end of the rituals, king announced a philosophical debate, and he also announced a prize of 1,000 cows with 10 grams of gold hanging on each to be awarded to the person who won this debate. Indirectly, he meant that this prize will be awarded to the greatest of the rishis. Now, in this yajna, Rishi Yajnavalkya was also present. Yajnavalkya ordered his disciple to carry all the cows to his home. But this definitely infuriated the rest of the sages and rishis who were present, because this was a direct insult to them. By doing so, Yajnavalkya not only declared himself the winner, but also called himself the greatest among the rishis. The others just couldn't digest it. But they were also scared to ask him anything, because Yajnavalkya was not only knowledgeable, he was also believed to have spiritual and supernatural powers. But there were some sages who were brave enough to face him. They dared to confront him and question him categorically. And Gargi was one of them. Gargi approached Yajnavalkya in the court of Jana when all the other sages had finished questioning him. She was inquisitive about Brahmana or supreme quality, and also wanted to unravel the mystery of the Atman or the individual soul. Now, let's see how the exact conversation went between them. Gargi Vachaknavi asked Yajnavalkya, "Hey Yajnavalkya, everything around us is woven in water. Then what is water woven into?" Yajnavalkya replied, "Hey Gargi, in air." Gargi asked, "What is air woven into?" Yajnavalkya responded, "In the sky." Gargi asked, "What is sky woven into?" Yajnavalkya said, "In the world of the Gandharvas." Gargi asked, "What is the Gandharva world woven into?" Yajnavalkya said, "In the world of the sun." Gargi asked, "What is the sun world woven into?" Yajnavalkya responded, "In the world of the moon." Gargi asked, "What is the moon world woven into?" Yajnavalkya said, "In the world of the stars." Gargi asked, "What is the star world woven into?" Yajnavalkya said, "In the world of the gods." Gargi asked, "In what is the world of the gods woven into?" Yajnavalkya said, "In the world of Indra." Gargi asked, "In what is Indra world woven into?" Yajnavalkya said, "In the world of Prajapati." Gargi asked again, "What is Prajapati world woven into?" Yajnavalkya said, "The Brahmalok." Gargi asked again, "In what is Brahmalok woven into?" Then Yajnavalkya said, "Hey Gargi, do not ask too many questions. Your brains will fall off. You are not supposed to question the Creator, and you are asking too much about Him. Hey Gargi, do not ask further." On that note, Gargi paused. Now the decision to this debate is still unknown. Who was the winner? It hasn't been declared in any of the sources. Some sources say that Gargi actually accepted her defeat and also acknowledged Yajnavalkya as the greatest of rishis. But this could be just another patriarchal connotation to the meaning of this debate. One of the major critics of the Upanishads say, there can be a question after a question, but there is a limit to every question and no one should cross that limit. Brahmalok, or the abode of gods, is the answer to all questions, and that is therefore the end of all questions. Since Gargi was crossing that limit, Yajnavalkya asked her to stop. Now, in this accord, my interpretation would be that Yajnavalkya did not have a logical answer to Gargi's question, and so he rebuked her and indirectly mocked her just to stop the conversation. Even today, when we cannot answer somebody logically, we get into personal attack on the questioning person just to stop the conversation. No wonder why people do not like feminism much, because they cannot answer the questions asked by the feminists. Now, anyway, Gargi and Maitrey have also been referred by Ubhaya Bharati when she tries to contend with Shankaracharya on the subject of sex and family life. Later, Gargi became one of the gems in King Janak's court. Yes, King Janak, who is known as the father of Sita. And that is how Gargi becomes a part of the Ramayana too. Now today, when we talk about Indian culture and the role of women in it, we must not forget that the Vedic times in India have actually given birth to women intellectuals who could and did equally compete with men in the forefront of knowledge, agriculture, and economy. Today's readings have been taken from the Upanishads and from Builders of Modern India, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay by Mahesh Chandra Sharma. The reference links have been given in the description box below. If you have actually enjoyed the video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Now that we are still locked down with COVID-19 around us, With Me is a great initiative by YouTube, which will help us stay connected and safe. In order to be healthy, we have to be in good mental health. So make sure that you believe in facts and you don't panic. Like Trevor Noah and many other debunk the myths about COVID-19, so stay updated. Maintain social distancing, stay home, stay safe, and keep reading. Till next time, tada.